We back. We back. We back one more time.
Another one.
Let's
There it is.
let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk, my boy Kev. How you doing? Tell the people how you feeling out there.
Feeling great, loving life, living my best life.
Okay.
Not trying to let things
Lil
stress me
Duval.
out. Can't really do any more than that. If you live that way, can't go wrong.
All right. Charlotte's
Yeah.
finest coming to you live and in living color. Now let's go
There it is.
to my boy in the beach. Coach,
Yeah,
what
you
you
know
got
it.
for him?
Nah, man, just doing the day to day, man. Taking care of my family and doing what I gotta do to do that, man. That's it. That's what life is. That's my everyday.
That's what life is. And I'm coming at you straight from the woods of Chesapeake. So we all doing it from different locations today, but we
Yeah.
still gonna keep this thing moving. All right,
There it
today we're
is.
talking about media distractions, and before we get started, I'm gonna share a couple of quotes just to put the context of how powerful the media is. So I'm gonna start first with a quote from Jim Morrison of The Doors. He says, "Whoever controls the media controls the mind." Okay. Malcolm X, the media is the most powerful entity on earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and to make the guilty innocent. And that's power because they control the minds of the masses. And the final quote I'm going to give to you, to control the masses, you must control the propaganda. To control the propaganda, you must control academia, journalism, and entertainment. And that is from, I believe this person's name is Mao Zedong, the chairman of the Communist Party. Now, this part is particularly interesting to me because
Hmm.
controlling academia, journalism, and entertainment doesn't sound like anything else that's going on in the world today.
Yeah.
Sounds like our country
Man,
right
that's all.
now.
Look. That's all I'm gonna say. Uh-huh. Yeah.
um, all I can say is somebody's trying to cut Harvard's funding off because they don't agree with that particular person's vantage point. So I'm just proud of Harvard for standing up and being the outliers and standing up to people who are trying to control how we think and how we approach certain issues. With that being said, fellas, we're talking about media distractions. Let's talk about what's important to you first. Now, we all know that your family's important. We know that your friends are important. Hopefully, your community is important. And with us, it definitely is. But outside of those things, what is most important to you? What are the issues that you kind of, focus on? I'm gonna go to you first, Kev. What you got, man?
I know you said outside of some of those things. Keep in mind,
Yes.
I'm going to put a disclaimer. I'm not a hugely deep thinker for a lot of stuff, right? I'm a simple guy. I don't really have to be involved with a ton of different things. The biggest thing in my life that is important to me is just being able to enjoy my time, not unnecessarily involving myself in stressful situations that I don't have to involve
Hmm.
myself in, right? Like sometimes you're going to have work stuff, you can't really control some of that, right? But other than that, just trying to support my family, being a good father. I know we're talking about outside of certain things, right? But
Hmm. Hmm.
sometimes it's as simple as that. Sometimes for some people, such as myself, it may not be other huge things. I just really like enjoying time with family and friends, right? Maybe it's going to concerts, maybe it's doing whatever type of random thing and just trying to limit stress in my life and being there for my family, supporting them,
Okay.
trying to teach them the right lessons. Those are really the biggest things to me. I'm sure after speaking to you guys, maybe I can think more outside the box, but
Yeah.
going into it from the most basic level, that really is what is most important to me.
Yeah, and I think what we're talking about is the underlying stresses that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Cole, what you got? What are the kind of things that you focus on outside of the friends, family, community kind of things? What kind of things you think are important to you?
I think I might. This might be a little bit outside the box. I don't know. What's important to me, I would say, is maybe my character, the way that people perceive me, the way that people see me. I get a myriad of things when it comes to people's perception of me. It's either, first they see me and they say, "Oh, you're kind of a big guy," or, you know, you make me nervous. Like I've had people tell me I make them nervous, and I don't even understand that. Like all I did was walk in the room. I didn't do anything.
Right.
I didn't say anything. I haven't done anything. I don't know why you're nervous. To uh, when I was working at the bank one time, I called one of the branches and told them, told them my name because I just started there. This is my name. I'm coming out. I'm going to be doing some work there at the branch. I just want to let you guys know I'm coming before I get there, so somebody knows I'm coming. I get there. It was in Portsmouth. I walked in, told somebody, how you doing? My name is Cody. Da, da, da. They told me, oh, I thought you were a white guy. And was there a reason why? Oh, you just sound like you were white on the phone. And is that because I didn't say, yo, what's up? I'm on my way over
You're
there to
right.
come service some of y'all's materials out here at the bank or whatever. But no, I think it's important to me that my character is good because I'm trying to set an example for my children to see that that's what you should do. Uh, and I know that goes back to family, but that's something outside of my family, outside of my community, really outside of myself, that to me is important to me. It's important to me how people view me and see me, because that at the end of the day, that's really all you got. If somebody doesn't know you and somebody asks somebody something about you, what they tell them is going to be their first impression of you. That's what they're going to think of you. And I
Yeah.
don't want people to be like, oh, Cody, he's just a jerk. Can I be a jerk? Yeah, but that's not who I am. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So,
Yeah. Not until they
yeah,
pull it out of you. I mean,
yeah,
like
yeah,
they
yeah,
earned
yeah.
they earned it when you become a jerk.
Oh yeah, one
They
hundred
poke
percent.
society pokes us all day, and then they be like they mad. You
You,
like, why are you
you,
overreacting? I only poked you a
yeah,
hundred
no,
times.
no. You asked
so
for this check I'm about to write. You asked for it. Here it is. You
so
asked for this one. Yeah,
so I think what y'all are talking about are, I mean, I don't think anybody could disagree with. Everybody care. I mean, you should care about the way that you're perceived, and we have to carry ourselves in a professional way, in a caring way, and sometimes we have to subdue a lot of things that we're thinking and feeling,
oh yeah, one
and
hundred percent.
because of the way we're treated on a daily basis. But I'm gonna talk about some other things that may stress us that we focus on, but maybe, like Kev said, there are those underlying stresses. So let's talk about things like, I don't know, healthcare, um,
Okay.
taxes, good
Uh
jobs, race relations, our educational system and what they're teaching our kids today. Um, there's so many issues, money, all those things are hot button issues right now. I mean, what the guy Luigi just knocked off a healthcare executive because of the corruptness in, you know, how people are overcharging us for a myriad of things. So do
Yeah,
those kind of
yeah.
things bother you guys? Do those things keep you up at night? Like, how are you gonna, the like healthcare is
Look,
extremely expensive.
I'm gonna say something that that some people that are probably watching this podcast might be a little shocked to hear me say. Okay, so I sort of pay attention to things like what you're talking about. And there was a certain senator that was asking this guy that owns a pharmaceutical company some questions in Congress recently. Is they believe his name is Hartley. Hartley. He's a Republican,
Okay. Okay.
but he asked this guy. He said, "How do you, as a pharmaceutical company, why do you own pharmacies? Why are you partnering with pharmacies and running local pharmacies out of business? You own the pharmacy and you're selling the pharmacy the drug. So you're giving the pharmacy the drug cheaper because you own the pharmacy, while this other pharmacy up the street that you don't own, you're charging them more money for the same drug. That's not a monopoly. You're not doing something you're making the drug, marketing the drug, selling the drug, and you're selling, you own the place where you sell the drug.
I mean, it's not right.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got
it's
some
there's a
insight
lot of
into that.
things, a lot of things that go on. You're right, man. Bills alone, bills is enough to cause someone to have a heart attack. to be stressed the hell out. You know, the thing about a bill is a bill gonna come. There's nothing you can do about it. But you need to have the money to pay. If you don't have the money to pay, you
Right.
better make some kind of arrangement or something, or you need to cut back, stop going out to the club every night drinking a beer. I don't know what you're doing.
Kev, what you got?
Well, Cody was, well, you were asking if some of these things stress us out, and some of them definitely do, right? And then Cody had mentioned the pharmacy thing, and I was saying I might have some insight to that because, I spent so many years working as a manager for a pharmacy and then understanding the politics involved. So, like, some of the stuff is you've got a pharmacy like Walgreens or CVS or Rite Aid, maybe not so much Rite Aid anymore because they're almost extinct, but other ones, right? And then you have pharmacy benefit manager companies, right, such as Express Scripts or Caremark. And those companies are tied in to the pharmacies. And most people don't know about this, but if you have whatever insurance and they say you have Caremark for your um, pharmacy benefits, then that company is going to say, most of the time at least, you have to go to a specific pharmacy
Pharmacy.
to get
Yep.
this filled, or you have to do it mail order. The reason why they do that, and they won't tell you this, is because that pharmacy benefit manager company also owns or is owned by one particular type of pharmacy. So they're not going to allow you to give your competition business. And when I was working as a pharmacy manager, right, for
Hmm.
Walgreens for several years, when this happened and CVS, Caremark, or when Caremark and CVS kind of got aligned, they made some decision which was going to cost Walgreens like 50% of their customers. It was such a big thing, like drastic numbers of executives just immediately for Walgreens took retirement packages because they knew the stock price was going to go way
Plummet.
down and all of this
Yeah.
stuff, right? You can Google it. An executive, a member of the Walgreens family that was on the executive board committed suicide, right? Because just worries about all this type of stuff. So do you ask if people have worries? Yeah, you certainly can because it affects your everyday life. And then if you are just general Joe public, like most of us, right? Then for us, it's going to affect the price that you pay a lot of times for insurance. So a lot of good has happened in the past with trying to force um,
Insurance
drug
companies. Yeah.
manufacturers, right, and insurance companies to lower the cost for prescription drugs, especially in my case, diabetes, right, and insulin. And now it seems like potentially
I'm
those
about to say
things.
he's about to get rid of that thing that Joe
Yeah,
Biden just did about capping the price
yeah,
of insulin.
right. So, I mean, think about how many people in the world have diabetes. One of the top three leading diseases, right, that you have
Mm.
to have medication for to survive on a daily basis. So if that happens, even though I might be okay, relatively speaking, could drastically increase the cost of living, right? And then for that, it's already, getting things with inflation
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything else where
Yeah.
Yes,
it's so
sir.
tough.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So we got, we're focused on, like you said, the healthcare part of it. In Canada, they don't have it's a free healthcare system.
You pay
Um
Wait a
higher
sec.
for
Wait.
certain
and
things, but
so
you
Can I
get your health
can
care
I
for
can I
free.
say something real quick? Can I say something really really quick? Because it's interesting that you just said that, Griff. So I was talking to my older brother yesterday, and he was telling me that Canada as a country has about the same gross national product as Mississippi, the state of Mississippi. Now, Mississippi. Wait, I want you to hear what I'm telling you though. Now, when I said Mississippi, you saw how you just laughed, right?
yeah.
But in Canada, you don't have to pay to go to the doctor. You don't have any issues with getting medicine. And what he said that just goes to show you that even at your worst, you can still have your best.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what does
And
that
still
tell you?
survive
Yeah, what does that
without
tell
too
you
many
about
issues.
about where? the issue lies what's really important. Is healthcare really important, or is it more important that you're lacing your pockets? Because you also got to remember that a lot of these pharmacy people that own pharmacies also own probably own the medical colleges where you become a doctor, right? So they're the ones that are making the doctors. Then they're telling the doctors to prescribe their medicine. I know that when I used to work at a hospital, that every time I went to a doctor's office, every day of the week, there's a pharmaceutical rep in there
Oh
giving them
yeah.
lunch
Oh
and
yeah.
telling them that if you prescribe this medicine, I'm gonna come in here every month and give you a check.
Yep.
Yeah. That's true.
Exactly.
That's
And
true.
it's legal, right?
And
Yeah,
That
so
is
yeah,
the pro
the
the problem
lobbyists
is that
that they bribe,
yeah, we,
essentially, it is legalized
yeah,
bribing, right? Just
yeah,
we,
force them to keep those types of things legal. Every other country, it's illegal to do
yeah.
some of the lobbying.
And a
yeah.
quick story about the Canadian thing. So my nephew had sickle cell, and he went
Mm,
to Durham, Duke University, to get his procedure done. And while we were there, and he was there, I believe he was there for a year or so, getting
mm,
a bone marrow transplant. There was another kid in there from um, Canada, and
mm.
their medical um, plan allowed him to go to Durham and pay for his stuff in another country.
That's wild
And
right
I'm
there.
saying
I never knew
that's
that.
that's crazy. So what I'm asking is, and it's not just about simple healthcare plans, because the justice system is messed up, the educational system is messed up. Um, there's so many things that need to be corrected, and we need to be worked on. But I think we're being distracted by so many other things. We're bombarded by a whole bunch of different other things,
It
and that's
ties
what I
into
want to
what
talk
you were
about.
saying with that quote about whoever controls the media controls the mind, right? So they can shift
Absolutely.
your
Yeah,
perspective. They can try to twist it in another way. It's kind of like lobbying to the general
yeah.
public
I
for
mean,
that news organization's interest.
Yeah.
yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
and look,
just think, just go ahead, Coach.
think about that. All that it took was, I mean, literally, all that was said was, well, that's just not true. This is what this man. That's what was said the whole time. Every time something came up, no, that's not true. That's fake news. That's fake news. All you got to do is say that something is fake, and that's the end of it. There's not even a conversation. Nobody even wants to look into it. There's so many things that are being done that nobody's paying attention to because they just say that's not what's really happening. That's not what's happening.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
not what's
just deny it.
happening.
Yeah, yeah. So, but
Or
let's
or as Speaker of the House, I just got to say, Speaker of the House said, "Hey, well, he's doing it to your face. He's not doing it behind your back." Said it on national TV.
right that part.
So
So
yeah.
we're ta- we're talking about all these issues. We're talking about drugs in our communities that we want to get cleaned up. We talk about violent crime, the police, the education, the taxes, the medicines, the insurances, all of these scams and things that we have to deal with. Like Kev said, we try to stay stress free and stay in our own lane
Mm.
a lot of times, but we're distracted by a lot of things. So let's talk about what kind of things distract us from those issues. So what kind of things distract us, fellas? Well, I'll go first. And I'm going to
Okay.
say, in themselves, they're not necessarily bad things. But think about when you meet someone for the first time. When you talk to someone, you can obviously see who they are. Like, you can see what race or ethnicity they are, whatever, whatever.
Mm.
But you talk to them, you be like, okay, what's your family like? Or how many kids you got? Or where did you go to school? Or all that. You know what? Questions soon follow. I don't know if
What's
y'all
up?
have this, but generally people ask you what football team you like. And I think that is not in itself a bad thing, but I do believe like that's one of the major distractions of our time. Like sports,
Sports. Hmm.
music, entertainment.
General
Um,
entertainment.
I
yeah,
mean, it's basically it's the arena. Football is the arena now. If you think about back in the day, gladiators and stuff like that, football, basketball, those sports are like gladiators in the arena. They're just playing a
yeah,
different kind of game. It's not MMA. Definitely gladiators in the arena.
absolutely.
Boxing,
Abs-
gladiators in the arena. So yeah,
Let me add something to what
all
you're just saying there with gladiators in the arena. So going back to Roman times, right? BC times in a lot of circumstances. So we talk about entertainment and how emperors used to set this up. Why did they set it up? To distract people
Yeah,
purposely
that's
from
it.
other things because other people at that time may have been even more poor and in worse situations than now. But if you can distract them from the real focus, which is having people with tons of money being able to do whatever they want and not being mad at them, being happier about, hey, you got your favorite gladiator on here now, or your favorite sports team. This is something that you can get into. We're giving you free admission to go to the gladiator complex, right? Even though now you got to pay for stuff, but I mean, still, it's a distraction to take your mind off of some of the other worldwide issues that are really going on. Where if you didn't have these distractions, you might pay more attention, and then people that are in power might not be able to keep that power as easily, or they would have to comply with the vast majority of society who wants some of changes to help the general public at large to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
empowered
I
more.
agree. Forget the part about the city falling apart. There's sewage everywhere. There's this, that, and the third
Yeah,
going on.
right.
As long as you get to go see this fight, and like your champions fighting this weekend,
Yeah.
nobody's
Yeah.
focused on those issues that are super important. Okay, so all right, so we talked about a variety of issues that are important to us that are, that should be at the forefront of our minds, but we are distracted by a whole bunch of things. I'm gonna share one more quote. um, when a man can't find purpose, they distract themselves with pleasure. Okay. And that's by Viktor Frankl, who was an Austrian neurologist and psychologist. And I will say myself, um, when I find myself, when I have nothing to do, I might play a video game. I might
Yeah. 100%.
watch
I turned into Kratos
some,
one time.
yeah, watch some worthless movie or something like that. There's a lot of different distractions out there. Like we said, there's a whole bunch of things that we will engage in instead of something that's positive and meaningful. So we're gonna end with one last question. What is your purpose? What do you think your purpose is um, in life? Maybe professionally, maybe um, entrepreneurially, or whatever. And I'll go first with this one. Excuse me. I think my purpose is to be the best father I can be, which I constantly work at. Um, I want to be the best husband I can be, and that's not me just trying to please them. That's just how I want to be. And I
Yeah.
make plenty of mistakes, but that's what I want to be. I want to be the best friend to everybody, all the people who are close to my circle. But I want to grow. I think purposefully, I'd like to build something that changes the dynamics of our community. I think it's important that we do this show and keep reaching out to people, not only to reach into them and encourage them and build them up, but hopefully someday we hope to make this into something that's going to be a little more profitable and build something that's going to change. Like I said, change our community is where I want to be, and that's my purpose. And that's how I feel about what the direction of my life is right now. So, Coach, what you got? What is your purpose? Like, what is it that you think my ultimate being on this planet goal is? What should I be doing?
I mean, as silly as this may sound, man, I would like to, and I know probably heard this in a movie or heard people say it before. I would just like to leave this place as a better place than it was when I was here. I would like to do something that would not only benefit me but benefit everyone in some way. I know that I'm focused on raising my children to be good people. I'm focused on me being a good person myself. I would like to find a way to help other people be able to focus on the same things. Like you said, get the distractions out the way and be able to focus on what you want to focus on, get your goals accomplished. Yeah, my purpose is to be the best me I can be. You know, there's nothing else I can really do, right? Than try to be the best me I can be. I can try harder to be the best me I can be, but that's when I'm start stressing myself out. the distractions, the things that shouldn't, as Kev said. I think that was very powerful when he said that at the beginning, that he tries not to let things that shouldn't distract him. The things that you can't control, why be upset over them? Right? There's nothing even if you get mad about it, it's still gonna be the same at the end of the day. I wish I had that ability. I can do that for some things,
It's
but I
tough.
can't
I
do
mean,
that for everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
when you
I'm
talk
trying to be
about
the
stuff
best
that
me I can be, man.
distracts us and entertainment, and you're seeing it all the time, it's tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is. It is.
yeah.
All right, Ken, what's your purpose, my brother?
All right. Well, I might not be as deep as you all with trying to improve the community and all of that stuff, even though I do community service projects, right? But
Hold
and
on,
to
wait,
be
wait,
honest,
wait, wait, wait. Hold on, wait. Before you even say that, I knew your mama, boy. Don't tell me you ain't trying. No, I know what your mama instilled in you because she instilled in all of us. You are trying to improve your community. You just might not realize it. But I know who your mama was. That's all I'm gonna say.
well, that's true. I
I
may
had to
not
say that.
realize it, and God bless my mother. But
Yeah,
I
definitely,
don't
man.
think I've really found my career purpose yet. And I was trying to think about this for a long time, right? So when we talked about what's your purpose, I really couldn't truly find it in terms of a career. I can say I think I enjoyed life more when I was kind of a business owner rather than being an employee and being dependent on following somebody else's rules and regulations. But when you were talking about being the best man you can be, Cody, that's exactly
Hmm.
what I was thinking, right? I thought of it more of
Yeah.
being like a helpful, honest person. I try to help
Hmm.
others, right? Again,
Yeah.
every now and then I'll do community service events. I'm in organizations that help with those types of things, whether it's professionally or socially. But I'm not going to lie and say I do that on a continuous basis all the time, right?
Hmm.
But no matter friends, family, try to help them. I want to be honest with you, right? I want to try to raise my kids the right way. So, in terms of being the best person you can be, I look at it that way. Some people also tie that into a career path. May not have found
Hmm.
that yet. Hopefully, what we're doing here can empower us to grow and have potentially other sources of income so we can devote more of our time to finding our true purpose, right? Because then we're not dependent upon an employer, providing us with our main sources of income. And then if we can do that, then we have more time to expand on things to truly help out on what is meaningful in life, which is some of the other things for distractions and not being so much involved with that and being able to make more of a change. But that's
Let
really,
me rephrase this just slightly. Is there anybody that you can think of that helps you become the best version of you? By that I mean, is there somebody out there who provides something to you that motivates you to do something or output a little differently, if that makes sense? Is there somebody out here who kind of motivates you to do some things just a little bit differently?
well, definitely my family, right? So my wife, right? She motivates me to be able to provide loving support to her and take care of her needs, take care of our children's needs, right? And she's there for me even in my worst times, right? I try to provide the same for her. May not always be perfect person for that, but none of us are perfect, so my apologies for my beautiful wife, but I'm growing as a person. As some people say, God's not done with me yet. But you know, I think all of us kind of are out there to help each other, right? Just like you guys as my friends, right? I want to help you out. I want to help us to help other people, right? Other organizations that I'm in with other friends, I want to help them for other purposes. It's just maybe I'm not with them as often as your family, right? So definitely in terms of other people, in terms of a everyday type of thing, I would say my direct family.
Yeah, 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 I get that, and it should come down. I mean, family,
I know at
obviously, the
first
people
we
in
were
your
talking about
household.
outside of our family,
Yeah,
right? But
but I mean, and everybody should be your primary concern is the people inside that place you live. That should be your primary concern.
Yeah.
But we're trying to expand and say things that are a little bit outside that. Cole, is there anybody for you that you say, hey, this person, that
I mean,
person
I would say
motivates me?
my brothers in my Mason Lodge. I
Okay.
mean, they definitely have an effect on me. Because we all sort of have the same, for lack of a better word, we sort of have the same focus. We all are looking to be better men and find a way to help other men be better men. Be better people, be a better person, do things the right way. Take a second to think about what you're doing before you do it. That's one of the biggest things I think that I've learned in masonry is
Mhm.
uh is to take a second and think about what it is you're doing. What is the ramifications or the repercussions of what's going on or what you're doing? Because if you think about it, when you're younger, you're very impulsive. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm impulsive, but I'm like impulsive. Like if I want to go buy something, if I see something I want it, I look and I see I had the money for it, I might just go buy it. I'm impulsive like that, but I'm not impulsive like, hey, somebody talk crazy in the streets, I got to jump on you. No, I'm gonna think about that before I do that. I'm gonna take the time to think about, even if I'm impulsive about something, have I paid all my bills first? Is everything taken care of before I go do this? Do I have all the money I need for whatever I'm gonna need down the line before I go do this? But being patient, that is something that I've really learned from masonry. It's something that I've learned from some of my brothers. Some of them everyone in there has taught me something different, has helped me see something in myself that maybe I could do just a little bit different. So I would say that my Mason brothers definitely have a big effect on, as you would say, from the outside of what we're talking about.
Gotcha. So the question was, what is your purpose? I'm gonna say, I think that sometimes when you ask a question that's really, really good, you find out that you don't necessarily have all the answers. And what I found, especially in education, is that sometimes the kids who get the right answers aren't always the smartest kids. It's the ones who ask the right questions. And this is a tough
There
question.
you
This
go.
is a question that I don't think that comes easy or naturally to most people. But I do think it's one that we need to contemplate more and work towards what our full purpose is. So I'm going to share one last quote from Jeremiah 32:19, which states, great are your purpose and mighty are your deeds. Your eyes are open to the ways of all mankind. You reward each person accordingly to their conduct and as their deeds deserve. So I hope that that encourages um, somebody out there. I know that I'm going to put more time into definitely becoming the best person that I want to be and developing my
Hmm.
purpose for the future. So, any last comments, guys, before we rate this thing up? Kev, you got something else?
I would just say purpose wise, you know, and being the best person we can be, strive for achievement, right? Cody had mentioned his Mason Lodge, fundamental purpose for my fraternity, achievement in every field of human endeavor. So even if you don't know what you're looking for, right, do your best to be the best at it,
Hmm.
right? Keep
Hmm.
striving for excellence.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go.
Coat, what you got? One last word
I,
from you?
I hate to say it, Kev. Just wrap it up for me. Strive for excellence, dog.
Striving for
That
excellence. And
yeah, yeah.
some,
You can't put it any better than that. You know what I mean? If you're
absolutely.
gonna do something, do
Absolutely.
it the best of your ability. All
Yeah. And
right?
I think
Yeah.
that that encompasses a lot of things. So I think we got to keep reading. We got to keep um, getting together with the people that we care about and making plans, like y'all said, to motivate each other so we can keep on this straight and narrow path to becoming or fulfilling our purpose. So for Kev, for Cody, this has been another episode of the Woods Finest.
Most finest.
Hey,
There it
you may
is.
not know your purpose today, but we're gonna find it together. So for these
There it
guys
is.
signing off, we'll see you guys in the very next episode
All
of
right.
the
See you
Woods
next
Finder.
time. There it is.